Today's subject is what has become known in several documents as the Mesilla Veil. This is now my 5th research trip to New Mexico. Over the past several years, I have gathered a substantial collection of documents and conducted interviews with numerous residents of Mesilla and the surrounding area concerning the unusual stories and legends associated with this region. This recording is intended solely for my personal research notes and is not to be distributed or heard by anyone without my express permission. During what I believe was my 3rd visit to Mesilla, I was given access to a collection of letters written by Father Miguel Serrano. The letters were dated between 1897 and 1904. At this time, I am unable to disclose the source of those documents. The letters cover a variety of subjects, but today I wish to focus specifically on references to what Father Serrano called the Mesilla Veil. Father Serrano appeared to believe the veil represented some type of connection to a force beyond ordinary understanding. Interestingly, he never explicitly described it as divine or connected directly to God. Instead, his description suggests something he regarded as spiritual in nature, but perhaps outside conventional religious doctrine. Father Serrano was known to be a close friend of Sheriff Thomas Ortega and was likely among the most informed individuals regarding unusual events occurring around Mesilla during that period. One letter contains the following passage. It was apparent to me that the sheriff was deeply troubled by some of the things he had seen in the desert. He was convinced that some kind of cult group had moved into the desert and was conducting religious ceremonies. I guess he could be right. We have had some groups from back east come into our area before. They always want to be left alone to practice some odd things. One difference is the symbols in the sand. Those symbols are very strange. I am pretty sure the sheriff is not telling me everything because he is normally a very calm man. But lately he is acting like this could be something bad. It is obvious he is very worried. I find this passage particularly interesting, not because it provides answers, quite the opposite. It raises additional questions. Throughout my research, I have encountered numerous references to unusual activity occurring in the desert. Several independent sources have mentioned strange symbols appearing in remote areas. Descriptions vary considerably, but the frequency of such references is difficult to ignore. Whether these reports describe actual events, misunderstandings, or local folklore remains uncertain. There is another matter I feel obligated to document. During a previous visit, I was briefly introduced to an individual who identified himself only by the initials TOX. I cannot verify his identity, nor can I verify the claims he made. According to this individual, he had reviewed documents describing the Mesilla Veil as a point of connection between worlds. In some versions, another world. In others, another time. He further suggested that creatures or entities could pass through this connection from one realm to another. I must state for the record that I remain highly skeptical of these claims. I have been unable to locate supporting documentation, nor have I been able to establish the credibility of either the source or the alleged documents. Many of these stories have circulated for decades. Some may be exaggerated, some may be fabricated entirely. It is entirely possible that portions of these accounts were created simply to frighten people or perpetuate local legends. Nevertheless, the consistency with which certain themes reappear continues to attract my attention. For now, I remain unconvinced that the Mesilla Veil represents anything supernatural. However, I am equally unconvinced that these reports can be dismissed without further investigation. As a historian, I have learned that legends often contain fragments of forgotten history. Determining where history ends and folklore begins remains the challenge. I intend to continue documenting these stories and establishing communication with others who are investigating similar subjects. If nothing else, there should be some record of what people believe was happening in this region. Perhaps future researchers will be better equipped to evaluate the evidence than we are today. One final note: this information remains preliminary. However, I have encountered several documents suggesting that Father Miguel Serrano may not have died of natural causes. There are indications, though far from conclusive, that he may have been murdered. If true, no perpetrator was ever identified. I intend to investigate this matter further during my next visit.